So I had an overheating problem and I decided to take out my pusher fan, which was not working. And this is the condition of my pusher fan. Everything seems to be intact except it's a little dirty. I'm going to clean out these contacts and I'm going to put some power to it and see if it runs. The stator inside is a little bit dirty, but it shouldn't matter. We'll just go ahead and blow some air in that, clean it up, and that should be good. And we have our plus and our minus, ground and our negative. That's a little bit dirty, so I'm going to go ahead and clean that up. Okay, I'm going to take off these 3 screws and see if we could get this metal part off from the fan. So I'm going to use my 8mm to get this off, but I'm going to touch it with a little bit of oil before we actually start. So I've been using the Cano oil, the oil that creeps, for most of the Porsche build. I just need a dab to get in there. I don't want to get into the electricals. Make sure it doesn't creep too far. This I'm going to take outside and refurbish and bring back in. As I mentioned before, this appears a little dirty inside, but again, it's not too bad. I'm just gonna knock it out, just kind of blow it out with some compressed air and make sure everything is okay. So here's my fan. I want to make sure it spins freely, nothing is touching it. I'm going to find out if this fan works. Here's the positive and the brown is the negative. There it is. I'm going to connect a positive lead and a lead to my negative. And I'm going to stick a piece of paper right in between so they don't touch, the alligator clips don't touch. So I'm using the tiny alligator clips. So we have positive on one side, negative on the other side. The negative is dangling down there. And the positive I have connected to my battery source. So this is off. I'm going to turn this on. Test it. So at 91%. Says 12 volts. And I'm simply going to touch this to that and watch this. Didn't expect it to be that powerful, but it works. So we've confirmed that our fan works. Okay, I've cleaned all my contacts. So I'm going to go ahead and put the fan back together again. Okay, so the sides with the grooves, that's the outside of the fan. The blades, I'm gonna go inside this recess to be protected. So for me, I had to mark where my tape was. This was taped down here. And then the holes fit. Just find where the holes fit. This nut has a little bit of rust on it. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of oil. They're nice, tight, and they're nice and snug. There was tape here, so I'm just going to use some zip ties. Of course, we don't want these long straps dangling, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut those off. This is the new Porsche fan. Well, it's not new, but it's refurbished, cleaned up and painted. The brackets are back on. Made sure the contacts were clean. And we're going to go ahead and install this back in the car. Nice and tight. Our fan is back in, nice and sturdy. And don't forget to connect this. I have some dielectric grease on there. And again, this only goes in one way. Brown goes to brown and red goes to red. Make sure that's nice and tight. And that's it. Our fan is done.